on Twitter writes, if Tavares signed a team-friendly extension tomorrow, would the fan base / your view of the player improve?
Let me just say this.
My opinion of Tavares doesn't need to improve. I'm very high on Johnny T.
Nobody on the show has a poor impression of John Tavares. Even after the Montreal series where he got kicked in the head, and then the next year people were like, the guy's washed. We were going, no, Tavares is good. And then the following year after that, he was great.
He's just not $11 million.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
He was.
At the end of a $7 million deal.
John Tavares lived up to the price of the contract.
Yeah.
That's what people don't want to admit that, but it's true.
Yeah.
This is what happens at the end, but throughout it, he was an $11 million player.
Yeah. It's like the contract is you're living with the consequences of the contract from beginning to end.
Yep.
I don't understand the notion of like, well, why is Tavares' $11 million treated differently than Marner's? Well, because they're completely fucking different.
Mm-hmm.
There's no worry that going forward, Tavares will make 12.
No,
I think
there's no worry.
One was also a free agency deal where you have to pay a lot.
Yes.
And the other was a re-signing of
where you don't have to pay a lot, but we chose to.
Of your RFA.
Yeah. Team had all the leverage and got murdered anyway.
They're different situations.
Yeah, and let's double down on the murder. It's not the same.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I don't know where the bad Tavares stuff is coming from. Like, I can see there's limitations with the player, but there's limitations with every player. And
some people take his off-ice attitude and they think his compete level is low.
I don't think his compete level is low. It is annoying, though. And I will say this, and I said it to you openly in Game 3. It's annoying when somebody's grabbing him and he just shows zero emotion. I know that's not his thing. Like one of the guys who drives for my favorite Formula One team, Oscar Piastri, won his first race this week, and there was like a whole bunch of controversy around it. But he also was very understated because he's an understated guy, right? But I would like John just once to lose his fucking mind, and just to create space for himself, because Kucherov doesn't have to do it often, but he does it, and people go, "Oh my God, he might kill me." And if you thought John Tavares might kill you, you might not treat him that way.
Well, like all the great players who are kind of aging in this generation, at some point early in their careers, made room for themselves. Crosby, at one point, crybaby Crosby, was like, I'm just gonna fight a few guys. And people were like, oh, and it's not like people left him alone after that. But you know that if you're a dick to Crosby, he's gonna stick you in the balls. And he's gonna slash you, and he's gonna cry. He slashed the dog shit out of Claude Giroux.
What if you did it to Malkin? What if you were a shithead to Malkin?
Malkin would beat the shit out of you. He's a lunatic. Ovi
lunatic
at least a few times and will kill you. He'll hit you. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that train. Kucherov makes room for himself. McDavid makes room for himself. Lots of the best players of this or the last generation make room for themselves. And just once, like Matthews with the surgically repaired wrists, okay, I understand. Like, what would be great, though, is you pick a night. You have to pick a night. Prepare for it properly. Don't tell anyone, whatever. Tape the shit out of your wrists. Throw a couple punches and then give him a good old judo flip. Get beneath him.
I think
and freaking give him a.
While we're on John, I think that's what it needs to be.
Well, I see John. It's tough because I don't want him taking blows to the head. I don't want anyone taking blows.
I'm talking about being a little dirty. A little dirty. The guy thing, he skates away from you, slash him across the back of the calves. Nobody's going hurt. No one's getting hurt, but it stings like hell. And you're like, did John Tavares just slash me across the back of the calves?
Do you give a shit
what
if there's a couple 2-game suspensions this November?
No.
I don't care.
No. Just
William Nylander, I feel like, has the physical capability to beat the brakes off of someone.
No one ever goes after him.
And just doesn't do it.
No one ever goes after him.
But so what? Be the aggressor once. I don't know. It's just, I feel like with this team, you have no idea the brownie points you would earn with this fan base. Dion Phaneuf was not a good Leaf. What did he do in his first fucking game? He fought someone. He grabbed, do you remember who he fought?
No.
Yeah, because it didn't matter. It's Colin White of the Devils. Gives a shit. But everyone was just like, new guy! New guy! Let's go, new guy! way. Because it's awesome when the new guy does that.
Yeah.
But I think it would be even better if all of a sudden you're like, imagine having a ticket to the game where most Leaf fans go to 1 or 2 games a year because that's all they can. And they probably get them free or they found it on a dead body. Like, it's impossible. And imagine you're at the game where William Nylander fought someone and maybe even won or did okay. Yeah. He drew. He took a punch and didn't die. And he friggin' threw a punch and it was pretty good and fun. And the bench went, woo! You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Toronto, they're just so hard to please. No, throw a punch once. Mm-hmm. Throw a punch once and ride it for 3 years.
Yeah, and I fully expect John Tavares to stick around and sign a very team-friendly deal.
Yes.
If you're asking my opinion on that.
I also want him to remain captain, even though Steve Dangle and Adam Wylde lead the Austin Matthews for captain parade. I'm on the I like JT as my captain.
Okay. Well,
nah.
I think Nancy. I think face of the franchise now, but it's okay because either are good options. I'm not dying. Not dying.
As a pirate, you will be.